तुमकां सगल्यांक अलर्ट गोवांचाक येवकार. आयज आमी असली टॉपीक घेवन येयल्या ज्या टॉपिकार लोक उलयता, जे ऑनलायन मिडिया पळयात तुमी नाल्यार इवन इन चॅनल्स, ह्या टॉपिकाचेर इतले डिस्कशन चल्ल्या आनी देर इज लॉट ऑफ अनश्युअरिटी कितें चल्ल्या, लोकांच्या मनान कितें आसा. म्हणून आयज आमी त्या मनशाक हाडल्या. शैलेंद्र वेलिंकर, थँक्यू सो मच तुमी
माय प्लेजर
आमच्या प्रोग्रामार आयले म्हणून तुमी. ह्या टॉपिकाचेर मातशें खुलासा करपाक जे चल्ले, जे देर आर सम पीपल हू हॅव डाउट्स what is whether our unity is at stake right now, whether there is harmony left in Goa, whether harmony in the people's mind is there or no. These things we'll try and dwell into, and let's find out what is the real sentiments of people. Thank you so much again.
Pleasure again. Yes.
There are a lot of discussion going on whether there is unity in the people. What is your view in this?
No, I think first of all we should know there are two concepts. I look at it. What is Goa first? To me, it is a geocultural entity.
Oy.
आणि गोंयकारपण आमी जेन्ना उलयता तेन्ना इट इज अ जिओकल्चरल एसेन्स. आणि जिओकल्चरल एसेन्स आसतकूच ताज्या मागीर सर्टन एक आमचे पूर्वज जे आशिल्ले एन्सेस्टर्स, they were bound by a certain social value system, different mental metrics was there, and they have inherited certain geocultural traits you will find in all the people, all our ancestors across faiths I am talking about.
Yeah.
So when I look at it, म्हणजे कितें, I have myself divided it into 5 aspects. First is respected to all modes of worship. One God is achieved through different ways of worship. This is the prime facet of it. गोंयकारपणाचें म्हणटा. Second is our ancestors gave us a certain eco-friendly techno-economic order.
Okay.
Within that, as deeper you go, I found ethics, ecology and economics.
Okay.
All 3 concepts were intersynthesized, and a techno-economic order which was in sync with the environment, ecology. That is what म्हणजे दायज जे आमी जे म्हणटात, हांगाचे दोंगर आसत, झाडां आसत, आतां डेव्हलपमेंटाच्या नांवान कितें जें चलना, it cannot be called as development. So there are many reasons for it, you know. So तो एक दुसरो ट्रेड जालो. Respect to womanhood because of the motherhood qualities. म्हणजे एखादें चली किंवा बायल मनीस जी आसा ताका आदरान तुवें पळोवचो पडटा, कित्याक मातृत्वाची क्वॉलिटी तिच्या भितर आशिल्ल्यामुळे अशें हांव पळयतां. आनी फ्लोरा एंड फावना हॅज टू एक्झिस्ट अपॉन the face of this geographical land at least as equal as human beings, or rather more than that. This is how I look at it. आता हे सगळे geocultural traits जे आसा ते you see diminishing, and the social discourse and the political discourse is at loggerheads. There is a complete paradox. It is contradicting each other. That's why we see many agitations, and I'm proud to say that from Pedne to Kankon, when I look at overall Goa, our reverence towards nature, we Goans across the faiths, again I'm stressing on it, are a community with a deeper environmental conscience. Interfaith hanga harmony asatuch, and it will be here because on the surface, on news channels, social media forums, we see a different Goa, but that is not Goa.
Okay.
Beneath the surface there is different Goa which is operating, and it is very much is in sync with each other. So त्यामुळे अशें चित्र जें आसा तें आसा. So harmony in diversity. When the rest of the country is traveling towards unity in diversity, Goa always has been and is still, we propagate harmony in diversity. It is a further state from unity. So this is how it is operating. So I don't see any dangers, immediate dangers to this unity across the faiths of ours.
So it is satisfying to hear that the unity is still existing. But what you're seeing right now, the recent incidents that has happened in Vasco and all, this somewhere or the else create doubts in our mind and in the people. बाबा थिंगा कितें चल्लें, फॉरेस्ट जालें, कितें जालें. आतां these doubts, who can clear these things? Who are the people who are responsible to make sure that the unity is still visible?
Right. See, there is a different way to look at it. वास्कोन जी कितें जी रॅली जाली रामनवमीची, and it is under, that whole incident is under investigation.
Right.
So it is sub judice. Sub judice म्हणजे it is under the investigation. So त्यामुळे कितें समजा खंयच्याय मनशांनी एकामेकाक, I am as a person, as a Goan, what Goa आणि गोंयकारपण has taught me is not to disrespect any faith. सो हांगा कोणा इन्स्टिगेट समजा केला आसत जाल्यार इट इज अ बॅड थिंग वीच इज बींग हें म्हणजे चुकीच्या दिशेन सगळ्या समाजाक आमच्या सोशल फॅब्रीक जें आसा व्हरपाचे प्रयत्न जाले काय कितें असो एक एंगल ताका. पण हो ओवरऑल सोशल हार्मनी जी आसा आमची, म्हाका थोडे रेडिकल फंडमेंटलिस्ट इस्लामिस्ट ऑर्गनायझेशन्स आर ऑलरेडी फंक्शनींग इन अवर पीसफूल स्टेट. माझे 1000 जाण गोंयचे मुसलमान जे आसात ते फ्रेंड आसात. आय डोंट हॅव एनी प्रॉब्लेम विथ देम. आणि एसेन्शियली हिंदुइजम, इट इज नॉट एन इजम अकॉर्डिंग टू मी. हिंदुत्वाज इंग्लिश ट्रांसलेशन इज हिंदूनेस. Hindutva cannot be an ism. Ism is a different concept and it is a very narrow-minded concept. To me, Hindutva is a multi-dimensional knowledge stream. It travels, it is a philosophy which propagates Ishavasyam idam sarvam. For example, it sees divinity in every aspect of the nature. Magir sarvam khalvidam brahma. Whatever is there in the cosmos, it can be internalized also. It exists within us. So a philosophy which has given slogans like Atithi Devo Bhava, for example, a guest who is a stranger also should be treated as a god. He should be well attended and well, and we are known for our hospitality, Goan hospitality. And magir ekam sat vipraha bahuda vadanti. One truth permeates in all animate and inanimate matter. This is the scope of Hindutva, and the kind of interpretations which are happening today are a little bit, I think they are reactions to certain actions. There are, for example, according to one survey of the central government, there are about 70,000 Bangladeshis, nationals, and Rohingyas. Rohingya is a community from Myanmar actually, which have been driven out due to their terrorist-friendly tendencies. They have been settled here across Goa by all these politicians across the parties. तातून BJPचे हे आसात, politicians आसात, काँग्रेसीचे politicians आसात, आणि they are bringing bad repute to the overall Islamic faith अशें म्हाका दिसता. सो त्यामुळे अशी सगळी परिस्थिती आसा, and whatever is happening, it is, I look at it as a reaction. So we are actually sitting on a tinder box. आणि म्हाका म्हज्या गोंयच्या मुसलमानांनी येवन सांगलां. For example, there is an organization called Popular Front of India. If you Google it, you will get their whole history, the kind of havoc they have created in Kerala, wherein Syro Malabar Church, ताज्या आर्चबिशपाचेर तांच्यांनी हल्लो केलो. मागीर आमच्यो 500 किरिस्तांव भयणी बायलांक तांच्यांनी उखलून they were made forcibly to convert to Islam. त्यामुळे अशा प्रकारचे फॅक्टर्स आसात. गोंयचो मुसलमान समाज जो आसा should be, I think they should assimilate rather than going by their dictate, all these radicals and fundamentalists. Our trait of treating each faith equally and religious coexistence, this is how it has been. So गोंयच्या मुसलमानांनी तेच हांगाचे मेंटल मॅट्रिक्स, व्हॅल्यू सिस्टम, लोकल कल्चर आसा, social value system जी आसा तातून assimilate जावन they shouldn't be participating in all these Popular Front of India and other like-minded organizations which are openly being operational in Goa.
Okay, so I'll take you something that you said before, which was very interesting. You said Hindutva is an philosophy.
Yeah.
But overall, if you see the overall in India now, the way it is portrayed, that you should get a Hindu Rashtra, and the way the CM statement about temple has to be restored.
Yes.
Kind of आमचे गोंयचे ते which we have not seen in politics. But politics and religious is kind of coming together.
Right.
So this is creating a kind of an for people, they're feeling insecure. Baba कितें आमच्या एडमिनिस्ट्रेशनाक हाडल्या लोकांक कितें आमी हांकां to build a religious faith.
Yeah.
तुमकां कितें म्हणणें आसा हितून सगळे ते स्टेटमेंट्स and whatever allocation was done for the restoration of temple and all, तुमकां कितें आसा? Do you think this is going away from administration?
No, I think oppressors are oppressors, invaders are invaders. I have many Portuguese speaking still, Portuguese families as my friends, they are family friends of mine. But certain things which Portuguese did to us, Goa Inquisition and all that, though it is behind us, but certain mentalities always, keep coming up. And, rather than moving forward, they take us backwards. So in this regard, जे मुख्यमंत्री जो आसा गोंयचो प्रमोद सावंत जो आसा, ताणें जें म्हणलां की पोर्तुगीजांनी डिस्ट्रॉय केल्लें देवळां जीं आसा ती रिस्टोर करूंक जाय. आय थिंक I don't find anything bad in that. Besides good governance, definitely certain आमची cultural heritage जी आसा, it should be restored. So it should be welcoming, provided there is transparency and the real history of every place. It doesn't essentially means, I'm sure that he is also not intending that certain churches will be demolished and certain temples will be coming on that premises. अशें ना तें अशें म्हाका दिसता. There might be certain sites which is again archaeological department जी आसा, archaeological department, they probably they are working on it and certain list of certain temples they are preparing a data. आणि दुसऱ्याची चर्च म्हणून तूं व्हडलो जायना, दुसऱ्याची मशीद म्हणून आनीक कोण व्हडलो जायना. त्यामुळे देवळां जी आसा ती आमची कितें जी it is in a very bad situation. I don't find anything wrong in restoring them and bringing out the true faith, bringing out the true history in front of everyone. So I don't see anything wrong in that. It shouldn't be looked at as a divisive kind of a step. And that unnecessary fear which is being created, that certain churches will be demolished and all that. मागीर पोर्तुगीजांमध्ये आणि आमच्यामध्ये फरक उरचो ना. Hindutva, as I said again, it's secularism is in the DNA of Hindutva. He doesn't only talk, he practices it. So it is in Goa across the nation also. So अशा प्रकारचे हें जाता. Only thing, political parties shouldn't interfere with this philosophy. This is what I feel frankly. And try to trigger or instigate certain elements, feelings जी आसता ते politicianनी करूंक जायना. बाकी हे decision जे आसा, if it is analyzed properly, hopefully he will come up with certain elaboration regarding his statement. And that should, without hurting any.
People were more into this, that ideally this should have come from a different organization saying they're requesting the CM to restore this temple which is old and all. Have such proposals come or anything, because of that this step is taken? It is not clear to people. That's the reason why don't you think this is a conversation?
No, exactly. So along with his statement, mere statement, the Chief Minister should have been elaborate. And he should have, explained it in what he means, what he envisages from this statement of his. So unfortunately, so everyone is free to interpret it. So I think that is what is, creating a lot of confusion.
And also recently he gave another statement that it was said that the God has to be protected. If God is protected, then the religion is protected. If religion is protected, then nation is protected. The person sitting in that particular position, is it fair to talk about mixing religion with the nation building?
I don't look at Hinduism. Hinduness is not an organized religion. It is, it propagates cultural nationalism. And personally, I feel Hindutva, anything which is Hindu is labeled as communal. This mindset also is equally dangerous for the democracy, because it being such an elaborate, philosophy, which is the foundation of this country. I am convinced about it. And because Hindus are in majority here in this country is to a larger extent with so many diversities, linguistic diversities, cultural diversities, it is still one as a country. It is still existing. That is because of the secular nature of Hindus. So Hindutva, Hinduism, Hinduness किदें ते पयलीं कळूंक जाय सगळ्यांक.
No, but you're saying secular. I want to stop you there because this is where the discussion gets severe. Secular nature of Hindu is not a question. The secular nature of the constitution that is built, because of that, if you're getting what I'm trying to say. There are many people who come contradicting that no, because the Hindus are allowing the Muslims to stay in peace. That's the reason why. But the constitution itself is built by the forefathers that allows it for every Muslim or Hindu to be an equal partner in this country.
No, definitely. Who is opposing that? We as Hindus are definitely not opposing it. We are opposing the radical fanatic Islam which is emerging across the world. They have been troubling the world. And if you look at the history, I will just give you a brief. There is one website you should visit. It is extensively researched for 30 years by one American scholar researcher, R.G. Rummels. It is available for every, it is on the web, it is on the internet. So he figured out, he studied the history of brutality of past 2000 years across the world. So when the rest of the world was butchering each other, humans massacring humans, exterminating humans, 100 million people, 1 billion people, 100 crore, probably more than that. That is what he has compiled, and there was this nation called India, Bharat, which has the least amount of deaths. So the two faiths which killed each other, that was the reason only being is your God is greater or my God is greater. So when आणि मागीर हे तूं हें करता आसतना तें करूंक जाय, तें कोणे तरी हिंदून डेव्हलप करूंक ना ती वेबसायट, R.G. Rummels'an केला, and it is based, he has given all the facts, figures and everything. So everyone should check it. दुसरें तुवें म्हणलें तें constitution, we are ruled definitely. Who is saying no? We are. It is the highest book, probably this country should ideally function on. पण एक तुका हांव सांगता आसतना अशें म्हाका सांगीन कशें दिसता कि when the Jews were massacred across the globe only because certain people felt that they have killed Lord Jesus. आणि 108 देशांनी तांकां जिते मारताले, तेन्ना किंग ऑफ कोचीन जो आशिल्लो, हिंदू किंग ऑफ कोचीन, they surrendered to India, they surrendered to king of Cochin. He gave them a separate place to stay, he gave them a separate place to build their principality, he gave them a separate provision, he made a separate provision to erect their synagogue. एक Jew community झाली, and Jew community, Israel has openly thanked India for this gesture because it was India who saved them from getting this from the face of the earth, ते काबार जावपा खातीर इंडियन त्यांना हेल्प केलो. मागीर Parsi community from Persia was again the smallest minority community across the world. 75,000 किंवा 80,000 आसताले. When they came to India, king of Gujarat again. And this is the history. I am telling you histories which are written by Portuguese writers also, historians also. So तांकां सुद्दां जागो king of गुजरातान दिलो, सुरतच्या किंगान. तो हिंदू किंग आशिल्लो. त्यामुळे सेक्युलरिझम, वॉट इज सेक्युलरिझम, तेन्ना आर्टिकल 29A, 30A बी अशें कॉन्स्टिट्युशनान आतां जें आसा तें तेन्ना नाशिल्लें. सो आय थिंक better ethics, if you have a ethical value system intact within, better ethics can produce better laws, but laws cannot guarantee better ethics. So I think it is the interfaith collective ethical value system which has kept the sentiment of Goa together and the country also. So constitution is a result of that, of this ethical behavior asha maka dista. And everyone, they are bound, the political class is bound by following the constitutional provisions which are made. But only thing, there are certain loopholes which are being on purpose. हे मुसलमान radicals जे आसात ते हे करूंक लागल्यात, we are not realizing it. So we have to face the reality.
So I heard you say a few times Muslim radicals. There is also radicals the other side, Hindu radicals also, who are wearing the orange thing and getting into the different in the mosque and in the this.
Right.
Those also are radicals, aren't they?
No, radicalism.
Is that right?
Hindu radicalism, which makes you take a certain action towards, For example, all non-Muslims are called as kafirs. This is a disastrous belief what they have, and this is how it is. So if the intellectual, the academia, the intelligentsia within the Islam doesn't come forward and say if they are called as religion of peace, are they following that? Religion of love, Christianity, are they following it? So there has to be some self-introspection also. And Bhagavad it is Bhagavad has a long tradition in this country. And it is the color, on which many freedom struggles were fought. And there is a certain history which is attached to it. So I don't think color saffron propagates or is a symbol.
Those are not Hindus.
No, they are Hindus. There is why
but
should
they are not
one
radicals.
mind? No, radicalism, it depends on everyone's behavioral patterns.
No, what I meant is they get into the church, they break the statues. There are few instances they've got into the mosque and they've kind of
It
put
should be
the
condemned.
flag and all.
It shouldn't.
So those
it
are
should
also
be.
radicals, right?
Yeah, of course.
So those you meant to say all those radicals should be taught.
Absolutely,
They are
absolutely.
faith leaders, like Hindu leaders should teach them, and the Muslim leaders should teach.
Absolutely,
these
absolutely. That is the way forward.
Right. So
Yes.
in Goa itself, we're looking at the situation now. You're seeing different parts. So this is different part of the countries are going. They're having small riot. Obviously, they are remote things. We don't have the real truth yet. But could Goa also face this thing anytime soon?
No, as I said, beneath the surface there is different Goa which is operating. It is very strong. Its philosophical, ideological moorings are very strong in nature. They still believe in those all 5 traits which I've told you. So that society will make sure that there is harmony in every aspect, which will exist
The
across
brotherhood
Goa.
and bhaichara is intact.
Absolutely.
That's good to hear, and thank you so much. I want to end here, but Shailendra, thank you so much for remaining time.
Pleasure is mine.
एक आमका दिश्टी दिसली तुमचे कितें view आसा? What is the situation in India and in Goa?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.